So most women don't fail because they are incapable. They fail because their mind is loud, chaotic, emotional, and working against them is quiet ways they don't even notice. Success is not luck. Success is a mental environment and you are the one who builds it. This 8th shift will teach you how to think like a woman who wins, consistently, calmly, and even without drama. The first one is how to rewire your thoughts. So one of the biggest traps women fall into is believing their first thought is the truth, and it's not. Your first thought is your old programming. Your second thought is the one you choose and is your power. So I used to wake up and immediately start panicking about almost everything of my day, especially for work. And I was like overthinking. I'm like, okay, how can I handle? And what if I fail? What if I'm just behind my planning? And because those thoughts came automatically, I started to believe in them. And at some point, I had to realize my brain wasn't trying to guide me, wasn't helping me at all. It was trying to protect me. And fear was the default setting. Not because anything was wrong with my life or my work life, but because fear is familiar. Fear feels safe to your brain. So what I've done instead, I started catching my first thought, and instead of taking it seriously, I treat it like a background noise. What I will do instead, I will ask myself, is this thought useful? Because I don't go anywhere if I start thinking negatively like that. Not positive, just like nya, not inspiring and totally useful. So most of the time, the answer was no, but be able just to notice that's happening and said, the answer, just say no. So I start replacing that, you know what, I can do this today. I can manage the workload. What's the very next step? And if you think, for example, I'm overwhelmed, just think instead what needs my attention right now. What's the priority? If you think I'm scared, think instead what exactly is the threat here. And bit by bit, you teach your brain a new pattern. And it's, okay, I'm going to be honest with you here. It's not a pretty one. It's a functional one. Slowly, the old script loses its powers. It takes time, it takes training. So you build a new internal voice, one that pulls you forward instead of holding you hostage. The second one, and you can use ChatGPT for that, is to create systems. I used to rely on motivation, and I thought success came from waking up and inspired and be focused and be excited. Yes, it can be very draining, but motivation is a terrible business partner. You don't need motivation for work because motivation is inconsistent, emotional, and disappears the second life gets too hard, you have a difficulty. The system truly saved me. It's a bit boring, I have to admit, but the system is simply a decision you make ahead of time, so you don't negotiate with yourself later. Okay, so let me give you like a concrete example. I don't ask myself, do I feel doing this today? Because the answer is almost always no. I prefer being on the couch and eating potato chips and watch Netflix, obviously. So I ask, what is my system for this? When I build systems, so I'm talking about work mainly, but you stop making emotional decisions. And when you start making effective ones, say, no, today I'm going to do the filming from 8 in the morning to midday. And the truth is, successful people don't have more motivation than you. That's not true. We all make the same. They just don't leave the door open for negotiation. Really use ChatGPT for that. So they put their priorities on autopilot. And like I said, it's not an exciting thing to do. What they took is discipline. So they just more structure. The other one is also try to stop negotiating, because most women negotiate with themselves all day long. You know, those little conversations we have with ourselves. Oh, I will start after lunch. I will do it tomorrow. I'm too tired. I deserve a break. Come on, it's not that urgent. So those little self-negotiation, feels totally harmless, but they definitely destroy momentum. You don't need more goals. You need fewer negotiation. The moment your brain says, I don't want to, That's the moment you do it. That's the moment you react. Not because it feels good. It's going to make you feel extremely uncomfortable, but because it builds trust with yourself and self-respect as well. Self-trust is the foundation of success. As you can see, one is about controlling your thoughts, and your environment shapes your mind quicker than anything else. Obviously, for example, like chaos makes your brain chaotic, drama makes your brain anxious, and any type of noises make your brain scattered. Most women try to fix their mindset without fixing what is around them or who are they around them. It's like trying to meditate in the middle of a nightclub with house music. So you don't need a perfect environment, but you need to make some changes. You need to control at least one. For example, if you work from home like I do, create a space that feels calm. Try to stay away of people who drains you. Once your environment becomes intentional, your mind naturally follows. You feel lighter. You will feel clearer, more capable. So when you finish doing this, that's already a really good foundation. You need to train your brain. So confidence isn't something you're born with it. No one is born super confident. It's something you practice. It's something you go. It's something you learn with age as well. You train confidence the same way you train a muscle when you go to the gym in the morning, by doing things that feels uncomfortable until they don't anymore. You know how many times I wake up in the morning and I am not in the mood to walk my dog because it's a bit chaos here in Bali when you walk your dogs, or sometimes it's raining and I'm like, oh, do I really have to? The moment I put my shoes on, I see my dogs getting excited and I'm out of the door. I put some music sometimes just to motivate me a little bit more, and I'm start taking the steps. Within 2 minutes, I'm not even thinking anymore. This is boring. I don't want to do it anymore. I don't have a choice. And at the end, when I've done a nice walk for half an hour or 45 minutes, I'm back home and I'm thinking, gosh, it feels really good. I feel better. So most women avoid the exact experiences that will make them confident. For example, speaking up during meetings, or maybe trying something new, maybe a new hobby, a new sport, or simply say to some people, no. Setting boundaries. Finishing where they start as well. Every time you choose discomfort on purpose, your brain adjusts. It gets stronger, and you will see definitely your capacity increasing. So your fear will decrease. Confidence is competence repeated. It's a pattern again. And it's your brain realizing, I've done hard things before, I can do them again. No problem. Give it to me. Okay, this one is a little bit tricky. It's about removing emotions. So women are emotional beings, thanks God, and that's not a flaw, obviously. But sometimes emotional decision making, that's where things are falling apart. Of course, your feelings are real. They're not just always accurate. So you can feel, for example, scared and still be safe. For example, I had a friend, she didn't drive for a very long time and she was scared of driving again. And I was with her in the car and I said, it's okay, I love driving personally. I said, just give it a try, just go. Not slow, normal, but give it a try. But actually, she was still feel a bit scared. The fear was there, but more she was driving and a confidence. You could see start to go and said, actually, I love driving. So that's just as an example of, you see. You can feel overwhelmed and still being totally capable. You can feel unsure, but you still be right. Definitely. So success requires a moment of separation, a pause. It can be a deep breath as well. It's the most important is when you ask yourself, what would the calm version of me decide right now? And it's totally wild how different the answer is. Totally. This isn't about being cold or detached, obviously. It's about leading your feelings instead of letting them lead you. So when you make decision next time for clarity instead of panic, your life stop feeling chaotic and you start feeling deliberate and you start feeling more in control as well and more proud of yourself. Another way as well to control this is to becoming selective. Listen, your success depends on what and who you eliminate. So some things can't come with you. For example, some friendship is built on complaining, negativity, or some habits that drains you time or your energy. Some people who needs drama to feel alive all the time. I had a group of friends last year that I truly love. It was so much fun to go out with them. But I noticed every time I am with them, it was a drama. It was so much drama. And at the beginning, it could be a bit amusing. And at the end, I'm like, they start taking me in this drama or creating stories that it did dramas over nothing. And I thought, I can't keep going with those people. And when I stopped, it was a bit hard because I missed the friendship, but I do not miss the drama. And suddenly my life didn't turn around like that, but it was more calm and I was able to take better, clearer decisions. So those patterns that keep you small if you keep surrounding yourself with people like that. Because the version of you that is still scared and being selective isn't being mean, isn't be a bitch, It's just being totally strategic. Because every high-performing women I know become selective first and successful second. So you have different ways to do that, but you can start designing patterns. So for instance, your daily patterns decide your future version of yourself, not your goals, or not even your intentions, your patterns. For example, if you want to become the woman who wins, who have to live in alignment with her now before you feel ready. So you can start anytime. That's the beauty of it. She doesn't wait for motivation and like, oh, I'm not motivated. When I'm motivated, I will do that. She doesn't negotiate with her excuses. Women who wins, she doesn't let fear control a schedule, She doesn't let old identities limit a new goal. So pattern build identity. And of course, when I said that, identity builds destiny and you control as well. So choose the patterns of the woman you want to be and your reality will definitely catch up. And when you start mastering your internal world, the external world becomes easier to navigate. You're going to be so much more selective. You're going to notice someone is maybe a manipulator. And if you like this video, give a like and subscribe. More videos coming.